UK muscle. We are in business. We are ready to rock. Welcome to my new series, which is, unsurprisingly, about weight loss. Obviously, because the title is Weight Loss Warrior. So, if you are looking to lose weight, I have something for you right here. If you're not looking to lose weight, then I don't know, maybe you're just interested in what I have to say. But if you're not interested in losing weight, then I'm not going to try and convince you to lose weight. This is if you're already in the process, but maybe you've tried a little bit before and you're getting a bit frustrated, or there's a lot of information out there and you're just not quite sure where to start. This is for you. So firstly, why do I know what I'm talking about? And why should you listen to me in the first place? Well, I'll put the pictures up. You know, I love throwing these pictures up here. I was 127 kilos and today weighing in 82.5 kilos. So, there's that. Also, for the last 7 years, I've been working as a personal trainer who obviously specializes in weight loss. And people looking to drop body fat, recover from obesity, get leaner, fitter, faster, stronger, all of that good stuff. And they're all losing weight as well. And what I wanted to do was just put into one place everything from my personal and professional experience, all of the knowledge that I've learned and everything that I've done to make this happen. And because then it's also what I've noticed in clients as well, and some people get it and some people don't, and I wanted to get across the common themes in the people that get it and actually make this happen, and also look at the common pitfalls and the traps, the psychology of why it doesn't happen. And so much about this is the mentality and the psychology of it and the way we're approaching it and our attitude towards it. So it's good news because actually the process is beautifully simple. Beautifully simple. So simple it is breathtaking. Absolutely staggering just how simple this process is. But the mind tries to overcomplicate things, and this is what happens. This is why maybe you've tried and failed. This is why you're not making the progress that you want to make. It's because everything is so simple, and yet your mind starts saying yes, but, or yes, but what about? And that's what this program is about. Weight loss warrior. We are going to get into that warrior mentality, that warrior mindset, where we are not going to waver and go this way and that way and get it all fuzzy and confused and delusional. We're not going into any of that. We are going to stick to the principles because we need to make this happen. And make no mistake about it, we can't lose sight of this. Your health is at stake. Your very life is at stake. I don't care whether you're trying to recover from serious, severe obesity, morbid obesity, or you just need to lose 3-4 kilos. This will work for you. It's the same process for everybody. And this process will take you all the way from the heaviest, death's door obesity, all the way to a perfectly healthy, happy life. Complete the normal weight category. This program can do it. Will do it. And it's 3 very, very simple principles. 3 very simple principles. I'll put it all up so that it can be screenshotted and so that you just have it right in front of you. Very simple process, very simple. But the point of the video is that I'm going to be talking through each of these principles and then maybe just explaining a little bit, because naturally people have questions about certain things, so I can answer some of the more common questions that I get whenever I'm explaining these principles to people, and some of the common misconceptions and some of the common beliefs that people have about some of these principles. But actually, it's good news. It's good news. It's so simple. And you already know this. this is the curious thing. You already know this. You see, so much about this is just trusting your intuition and trusting your instincts. You already know what to do. I mean, come on, we all do, right? But I'm just going to introduce you to the mentality to make this actually happen and to make this actually stick. So, let's get into it right here. Everything that you need to know is going to be within this video. I just want to get it done, bang, ready to rock and roll in one video, but there will be a series of subsequent videos maybe to answer any questions that you might have that I might not have quite covered, anything that I've missed that I need to clarify further down the line, or maybe just videos of just the motivation or anything that comes up, essentially. But it's all going to be self-contained within this video, so let's get to it. UK Muscle, we are in business, we are ready to rock and roll. Everybody gets nervous when the whiteboard comes out, but this is everything. It's all on here. It's all this simple. So firstly, a note on the name, weight loss. Why are we calling it weight loss? Because it's not all about weight, is it? It's about, I just want to get leaner, I want to get fitter, I want to get healthier, and perhaps maybe I'll lose weight further down the line or as I'm engaged in this. This is part of the problem. This is all this very fuzzy, hazy sort of ideas. Maybe I just want to get a little bit fitter and all of this. And really, what you actually want to do is lose weight. That's what you actually want to do. And this is important. This is crucial. Because weight is measurable, very easily measurable. We get very clear numbers in front. And people, the reason that it does get so hazy and so fuzzy is because people weigh themselves and they don't like the results they're getting because it's frustrating and it's hard to see. If you look at the scales and it's not where we want it to be, it's hard work. But we have two options there. We can either go into, right, so then I need to knuckle down and I need to look at what I haven't done this week in order to get the result that I want, or we can go into delusion and start saying, oh, but the scales are wrong and, you know, the BMI chart is outdated and, oh, most of it's muscle and I've just got heavy bones or I'm just built like this. All of that, okay, if you are serious about this goal, if you are serious about this, and I'd urge you to get serious about this because, again, your life is at stake. We have to focus in on weight. We have to. It can be difficult because it's right there in front of us, but this is crucial. It's supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be tough. Once we start separating this number that's on the scales from our self-esteem, self-worth, self-belief, all of that sort of stuff, just don't worry about that. Let's just take a look at this number and then we set our target. And this is, from that point onwards, nothing else is acceptable. We have to hit this weight target. Beautifully simple, that's it. That's the only target. Don't get lost in this idea that, oh, well, if I set myself a running goal to run a certain distance, then I'll just sort of lose weight naturally alongside it. Maybe a bit, but it just doesn't work like that. And again, this is from my personal experience and the experience of what I've learned from clients over the years. The ones who get it and the ones who actually make the progress are the ones who got their goals and their targets and their focus lasered in, get it right, nailed into a very specific number. We want our weight to become a certain number, and that's it. You can forget the other goals, you can forget all of that. So that's why it's weight loss warrior right here, because we are looking at losing weight. I wanted to put it right there in the title, because it won't be long. Give it 2 weeks in, and you'll start be thinking, oh, well, was it about weight, really? I mean, is it about weight? I mean, maybe I just wanted to build some muscle. Maybe I just wanted to get a little bit fitter. And this is the mentality. We need to get locked into this mentality that the entire process is about losing weight. And when we step on those scales and you get the result that you want because you've put that work in. You stuck to the diet. You stuck to your training. You got it done. When you get that result on the scales, the feeling is incredible. It's fantastic. And people forget about that, the positive side of weighing yourself. The scales keep you accountable. The scales are right there. Every morning, they're right there in front of you. It's free to weigh yourself. It's easy. All you have to do is step on the scales. It keeps you accountable, keeps you responsible. Those are two very key words. Two very key words, accountable and responsible, when we're engaged in this process of losing weight. So, that's why it's called Weight Loss Warrior, and I've touched on a few bits here, but just to elucidate further, let's go into step one. And as I say, there's only 3 steps to this. Simple. Once you get these 3 steps nailed in, locked in, you will be a weight loss expert, right, for the rest of your life. This is all there is to it. That's it. Once you've got this locked into your head, you are just as much of an expert on weight loss as I am. Set a weight target. Weight, you see, is underlined because I've just been hammering home why weight is such an important thing to focus on. Set a weight target. Also, whenever we're setting a target, this is true for any target that you set. My best advice is only set 1. Don't set 3 or 4. If you set 3 or 4 targets, you will fail at all of them. Set 1 target and give 100% of your effort, your energy, your entire life to that 1 target. Set the target and become fanatical about making it happen. Fanatical. I mean, make it priority number 1 in your life. Because if you don't, you can forget the rest of your life. The rest of your life will be miserable as sin. So, when we set that target, we get it locked in, that we are making it happen, and a single-minded focus on this target. And for our program here, we are setting that target as weight. So how? How, Corin? How do I decide what my target should be? Great question. I'm glad you asked. We are going to set a BMI target. BMI, you've probably heard of it before. It stands for Body Mass Index. And Body Mass Index seems to have taken a beating because, again, people don't like stepping on the scales and then comparing where they are on their body mass index and being told that they're overweight and being told that they're obese. It's not nice to hear. It's not nice to see. I know this because I've been in that situation where I've weighed myself in the doctor's office. She weighs me, points out the chart and says, look, you are severely obese. I was like, what? How dare she say that? Like, is she trying to body shame me and all of this? It's like, no, the doctor was doing me a huge favour and a huge kindness. The doctor was saving my life by doing that. Because you have to become realistic, and you have to, if you want to save your own life, you have to take stock of the reality of the situation. Body mass index, the body mass index chart, is actually a beautiful chart because it takes into account your age, your height, and your gender. It takes these into account, so it's very individualized, very individualized. It's not like some totalitarian benchmark that everybody must weigh 75 kilos and everyone must fit into that box. It doesn't work like that. It's actually a beautifully individualized is the best word. It's a beautifully individualized chart that takes into account your age, your height, and your gender. I'll put a link in the description for how you can calculate your BMI, and let's start getting fired up right here. Let's start getting fired up. This is something you can actually do right here, right now, today. It's so simple. You just put your details in, and this site is the NHS, our wonderful National Health Service. It tells you exactly where you're at currently on the BMI chart, and it tells you how much weight you need to lose in order to regain a normal BMI. Target set. And that works for every single person watching this video. All of you. No exceptions. No exceptions. Do not start getting it twisted and saying, oh, but what about muscle? What about bodybuilders? Aren't bodybuilders technically obese due to the BMI? So the BMI chart must be wrong. The BMI chart must be outdated. Right. Are you a professional bodybuilder? Are you? Because if you are a professional bodybuilder, I don't know why you're watching this video. Because you already know what to do. And that is like a tiny little exception. Tiny. It's like 0.01% of the population. That is statistically irrelevant. Obviously, it's different for professional bodybuilders. They're on huge amounts of steroids. And hormones are producing an unnatural amount of muscle. So that's not you. That's not you. And I guarantee if you are overweight or obese, it's not because you have too much muscle on your body. One of the things that I needed to address is this myth. There are so many of these myths and delusions and weird, fuzzy, hazy ideas out there that one of them is, well, muscle weighs more than fat. Physiologically speaking, the muscle tissue, yes, does weigh more than fat. It does. But you are not going to gain significant amounts of weight of muscle. You can gain like grams of muscle if you're lucky. You get to a certain level of your muscle development, and if you're a natural weight trainer and athlete, then it stops at a certain level. That is not going to offset the amount of fat that needs to be lost. If you are overweight and obese, it's fat. It's as simple as that. Again, I know it can be hard to hear, but I need to be a good friend. A good friend will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And sometimes people need to hear, look, you should lose some weight. And it's not, I'm not having a go, because look, I was in that state myself. Okay, I understand that we can find ourselves in that state, and it's like, ugh. But it's a good idea to just get it done. Get it done, right? Drop ourselves into that normal BMI category. Again, links in the description. And now we have a target set, a beautiful, beautiful target. Now we know how much weight there is to lose. Simple. Once it's locked in, get your head around it and go, right, now it might be a significant amount. I had a significant amount to lose, and it was like, right, this is where my mentality started to change. And I started to go, right, I'm not going to shy away from this. I'm not going to back out of this challenge now. This is a challenge that I'm going to rise up and meet. Anything that I don't know, I'm going to learn. Anything that I can't do, I'm just going to find a way to do it. No, I haven't done this running before. I'm just going to start doing it. I haven't done this weight training before. I'm just going to start doing it. Oh, I'm intimidated by the gym. I'm just going to get over it. I'm just going to get after it and get after it and get after it and get after it. And I was uncompromising. Uncompromising. This was my goal. I needed to save my own life. And hey, it works. What do you think is going to happen if you start training, if you start your running, if you start your weight training, and you start counting your calories, and you start dieting? You think you're just going to stay overweight and obese forever? Of course not. Of course not. You're a human being just like any other. There is nothing different about you than any other human being, physiologically speaking. Everybody, absolutely everyone walking around on planet Earth can achieve a normal BMI. So that's our target. Target set. That's number one. Boom. Done. Ticked off. Target set. We are going to set normal BMI as our weight target. Next up, CYFC. Count your calories. I'll get into that in just a second. Rock and roll. something I realised that I forgot to mention. I was supposed to do it right at the start. Is that obviously, look, I'm not charging for any of this. I'm not charging for putting this program. There's not going to be like a hidden click this link and put this. There's none of that at all in any of this. It's completely free. I do it because I care. I do it because if I died without having said all of this stuff, then I'll have left something very unsaid. But I am trying to grow this channel. I am going to be producing more content. This series, which is Weight Loss Warrior, and another series called Spirit Soldier. Those are going to be the two series that I'm going to be focusing on, and I appreciate all of the support that I get. I love the comments that I'm seeing. They're absolutely fantastic. These subscribers are trickling in, so if you have a second, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I always hear people talk about hit the bell as well. I don't even know what that means, but I think the subscribe is the, I don't know. Subscribe, bell, whatever. And if you do like the video, please consider whacking that like button as well. And that's it. That's all I can ask from you for this. So, CYFC, count your calories. I will let you try and figure out what the letter F stands for on that one. There is no way around it. There really is absolutely no way around it. Let's keep it beautifully simple. Let's keep it down to the absolute scientific principles at work behind weight loss. This should be starting to feel like a massive sense of relief. I am releasing you from the burden of hearing about all these different diets, all these different fads. What about carbs? Should I do keto? What about fasting? What about that? It's rubbish. Rubbish. The whole thing. Absolutely all of this information about nutrition and diet. When it comes to weight loss, which is our goal, the only thing that you need to do is count your calories. Ta-da! Done. Yeah, that's it. You are a weight loss expert now. It never gets any more complicated than that. We have to consume fewer calories than we are expending. When we are expending more calories than we are consuming, so that means if we are burning more energy than we are eating, your body has to burn fat. It has to. It has to. And it does. Rapidly. Rapidly. Especially if you've been eating too many calories for your whole life, which a lot of people do. That's just, we're in a consumption-based society, and a lot of us, all of us really, are eating too many calories. Way too many. And so when we finally bring ourselves into what's called a calorie deficit, which is where we are consuming fewer calories than we're expending, your body just burns fat rapidly. It happens so quickly. Whenever I have a client who switches on and gets it, they go, oh, it's so simple. And they just go, bam, oh, I get it now. I get it. It happens so quickly. They lose weight. The process, really, no matter what state you're in, the process will never take longer than 6 months. Most people, it's like 2 to 3 months. It happens so quickly when your mentality switches and you get it right. When you get into that weight loss warrior mentality, when you get it, it happens rapid. You'll be stunned. Not that we're trying to make it happen as fast as possible. It's not about that. It's more about we're just becoming disciplined and learning the craft of how to make this happen. Keto, intermittent fasting, Slimming World, Weight Watchers, blah, 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 Herbalife, nonsense. Disregard. We don't need to think about any of that rubbish. Get rid. Count your calories. So, the very first thing that I recommend doing, if it's putting you off to the point where you're like, oh, I really don't want to do it, first thing that we need to do is just get into the habit of reading the food labels. Everything that you eat, everything. Even if you're like pouring rice, just cooking your rice, just look at the label and just see, right, 100 grams, how much is in 100 grams? Don't try to hit a certain amount of calories to start with, to begin with. Just read every label. How many calories are in that? How many calories are in that? You eat your sandwich at work. By law, the calories have to be put on food packaging. There isn't a single bit of food that doesn't have. If it's in a package, it has to have the calories on there. If it's not in a package, Google it. Google it. It takes seconds. And now we're starting to empower ourselves. Now we're starting to take control of what we are consuming. This feels fantastic. It is not an act of deprivation. It is not an act of beating ourselves up or feeling bad about what we're eating. It's not an act of that. It's an act of discipline. It's an act of self-control. Ultimately, it's an act of self-respect. To say, I choose to eat the correct amount. I am not going to fall into patterns of gluttony and greed just because I'm in a stressed state, my emotional state's not good, and I'm just locked into this unconscious eating habits. Now we are taking control, firm control of the diet. Again, words are important. Yes, diet. Not eating plan, not nutrition plan. I'm not just setting myself some lovely intentions and becoming conscious of what I'm eating. It won't work. It won't. It has never worked. Anyone who has ever lost weight has done so because they are consuming fewer calories than they are expending. Simple as that. We're going to cut out all the rubbish, cut out all the nonsense, and just focus in entirely on that. So, once we become conscious of how many calories are actually in various things, firstly, it surprises us how many are in there. Like, wow, there's a lot of calories in that, a lot of calories in that. And then, oh, there's not that many calories in that, there's not that many calories in that. Interesting. Very interesting. And this just starts to send the signal to your mind that you're like, huh, okay, so that's probably a better option then, isn't it, than that one? So, how do we know how many calories that we are supposed to be eating? Well, again, I'm going to put another link in the description. This is based on something called the Mifflin-St. Jean equation, and this equation will save your life. So, again, it takes into account your age, height, your current weight, your gender, your activity levels, all of that, and it will tell you exactly how many calories that you should be consuming. And if you want to lose weight, which I think would be a good idea if you are overweight or obese, then how many calories you should be eating and how fast the weight loss will happen as a result of eating a certain number of calories. And it's all right there in front of you. So again, it's very individualized. It tells you exactly, for you as an individual person, how many you should be consuming to lose weight. And this just starts to, now we're looking at the food packages, and now we understand how much we should be eating. Again, you might, to begin with, you might not need to be writing it down, but as soon as you can start doing that, do it. Some people prefer apps in which they are sort of inputting how many calories they're eating. I just prefer, I'm looking for it, see if I actually got it. I prefer actually just writing it down. I don't know, maybe I'm just old-fashioned or whatever, or maybe it's the act of writing it feels a bit more solid for me, so I just write down like protein shake, 200 calories, banana, 100 calories, and then that's just like breakfast squared away, so that's, there we go, I know 300, and then moving on, and then like for lunch I just write down however many calories I've had, and then I can just calculate over the day. The beautiful thing about doing this, one, we are cementing that discipline and self-control. Discipline, self-control. Two, it's so simple, so simple. We're not worried about the macronutrients, the protein, the carbs, the fats. This is too complicated to start with. Maybe further down the line we might take it to that, but to start with, just this, just that. So simple. Just start writing it all down and hit that calorie target. Everything is harder when you start. Everything is. It's going to feel like a grind. It's going to feel like a drag. because you're in the habit of just eating whatever's in front of your face. So it's going to feel like a bit of a drag to have to start writing everything down. So be it. So be it. Just a reminder, obesity is the leading cause of cancer. Now, it's overtaken smoking. Being severely obese will kill you, and it will kill you young, and it won't kill you quickly, it will kill you slowly. You develop diabetes, you develop heart problems. It's a very slow, embarrassing, painful, humiliating, uncomfortable death. It takes parents away from kids. It takes kids away from parents. It takes friends away from friends. It kills people all day, every day. And they're dying unnecessarily, totally unnecessarily. And it winds me up because we have this culture where it's just, we look straight past it. It's a massive problem, massive. It's not just the deaths, but also just the misery, the sheer misery, when people could be living such happy, healthy lives. And yet we just look past it because we're afraid of like offending people, or it's just not part of the culture. You just can't say it. And then all of the misinformation about it, and we're not even allowed to say like, oh, weight loss. It's like, what? No, wait. Even in gyms, we can't say weight loss anymore. It's got to be like, no, just wellness and get happy and healthy. And it's like, people need to lose weight. It's gotten so bad, that even personal trainers and fitness instructors, I see all their social media, and even they're saying this rubbish now. You don't have to lose weight. Oh, weight's not the full picture. Muscle weighs more than fat. It's absurd. It's absurd. It's actually laughable. But that's why I'm making this video, because I got to say what I got to say. And this is right. This is correct. This is the scientific method behind it. And, well, hey, you can disagree if you want, and you just carry on and go to, no, I'm going to go do keto. Yeah, sure. You crack on with that, and I'll see you back here in a couple of years' time when it hasn't worked again, and you should have been doing this. I wasn't supposed to be putting anyone on blast in this video, but I can't help it. I need to get some stuff off my chest because I just feel so passionate about this, and it infuriates me that as fitness professionals, I'm a fitness professional, and as fitness professionals, we have a responsibility. It's our task to give people the right information to become empowered about taking control of their fitness. And if we have somebody who is obese and we tell them that they don't need to lose weight, then it is immoral. It is unethical to do that. A doctor has to tell somebody if they have a duty of care to tell somebody if they're dying because they're smoking. The doctor can't say, oh no, you can just carry on smoking, because they don't want to like hurt their feelings. If somebody's unhealthy because of their weight, we need to advise them to lose weight. The culture has gotten ridiculous around weight loss. Anyway, so I'm talking about your individual plan, your individual process right here. We are going to save your life right here. You're going to be buzzing for this. When you get started, the energy is going to be crazy. Trust me. You don't feel hungry all the time and like, oh God, all sluggish and tired. Your energy will be shooting through the roof because we're finally in a calorie deficit, not in a calorie surplus. When you're in a calorie surplus, you feel low, you feel lethargic, your mood is constantly fluctuating up and down, these sugar spikes, insulin coming up, down, all over the place. When you're in a calorie deficit, suddenly we go into our hunter mode. We go into our warrior mode. When we're in that mode, our energy comes up. We're fired up, our senses become alive. We're suddenly eating good stuff. We're eating this good, nutritious food. We're drinking plenty of water. Suddenly you just start feeling so good. You're lighter, fitter, happier, healthier. You're going to be buzzing for it. So we've set our weight target. We want to hit a normal BMI. I'm actually going to write that down. I've just realised that BMI, what we are looking for is normal. Normal. Bam. BMI, normal. That's the target. Just a note on target there. Time frame doesn't matter. Ideally, we're looking to lose sort of between maybe 1 and 2 kilos a week, but actually it happens when it happens. Once you're in the mentality is, I'm going to achieve this, and I'm going to achieve it no matter what. I don't care if it takes me 2 months or 10 years. I don't care. This is what's going to happen. Don't worry so much about time frame. That just gets you confused and has you looking towards the future. You should be more focused on today. Today only. Just worry about today. Count your calories. Buy yourself a set of food scales so you can start weighing things out. And the process here isn't so much learning anything complicated. It's more about the process of your mentality and of your discipline and dedication. We are not trying to find a way to make anything easier. We are trying to find a way to become stronger, to become more focused, to become more disciplined, to get fired up about our lives, to get optimistic and energized and enthusiastic about our lives. We are not trying to make things easier. We're trying to embrace the challenge. Yes, it's a grind. There's no way around it. It's a grind, counting your calories. It is. It's a pain. I wish I didn't have to do it, but I do. So that's it, isn't it? Roger that. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Get it done. Just get it done. And the feeling that results from this is amazing. You just feel so disciplined and in control. And you get something that a lot of people in this modern world, sadly, don't have. Self-respect. On the subject of self-respect, we are going to bring it into this. And I am not compromising on this last point, which I'll get into in just a sec. UK muscle, still. I actually went and grabbed my food scales. I didn't have them to hand, so I went and grabbed them. These are Pro Cook. It's not a sponsorship. I'm not trying to shill anything. You can get any brand of these. These cost me about a tenner. Quite nice. This is like a glass topped one. I've had these probably about 5 years and they're still going strong. It cost me a tenner. Well, it's crazy to think, really. So a huge amount of my weight loss has been thanks to these bad boys right here. You just whack your food on the top there, and obviously if you don't know how many calories are in it, you just Google it. So it might be like 200 grams of rice. Okay, Google how many calories are in 200 grams of basmati rice, and you know it's really not all that complicated. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of working through. But in working through, we're going to be creating so much discipline, so much strength. Just it will feel good. Try it. And look, this is my high-tech calorie counting app right here. So we've got our protein shake, we've got our banana, we've got our chicken and rice on there. I'm like really taking it seriously at the minute, trying to like cut down and shred and stuff. My ultimate goal is 80 kilos. I'll let you know when I get there. I'm 82.5 at the moment. We're going to get there. So, and we've got my like chicken wrap and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just all on there. Look, how much does that cost? 50p? If that. So, small price to pay to save your life, right? So, we are going to take it into number 3, and that's it. There's just 3. So 1, we set that weight target. We want BMI to be normal. Number 2, we want to be able to count our calories and just get to it. It's probably not, you're not going to get it perfect straight away. Doesn't matter at all. Who cares? Just get started. Cease all alcohol and drugs. This is crucial. It's the hidden aspect that most people don't even want to go anywhere near. And the first thing that most people say when I say, right, we need to, if you want to lose weight, you need to drop alcohol. They go, oh, well, I don't drink that much. I just have 1 or 2 beers, maybe at the weekend, maybe a couple of times. So alcohol's not the problem. Wrong. You must cease all alcohol and recreational drugs. But most people alcohol is a big issue. Now look, if you only have a few drinks at the weekend and just a little bit every now and then it's not a problem to drop it out completely, is it? It's not going to make a huge difference to your life. Do you feel that? The anger that rises up when I say that? That should be giving you a clue that maybe there's a little more going on with just how strong a habit this has become. Because if it's just, well, one or two and it just doesn't matter, then it's not a problem to just cut it out completely. It's this hidden trick, almost. They often talk about weight loss, like, oh, this one weird trick, this one hidden trick. Just cut out the booze completely and the weight will fall off. The weight will just absolutely start dropping off. For a few reasons. One, alcohol is actually a macronutrient in itself. It's the fourth macronutrient, and it just stores as fat straight away. Not only that, the substance alcohol itself doesn't get processed by the body very well at all. And so the fat cells that form as a result of alcohol are very toxic and very poisonous. And then your body doesn't like to break those cells down because it releases toxins and poisons into the system. So alcohol is, if I was to design a chemical that puts weight on a person, it probably would be alcohol. It just results in massive weight gain, massive weight gain. So physiologically, the actual substance of alcohol itself results in huge weight gain. So it's got to stop. Stop, quite easy. Bam, no more. No more booze. No more. It's done. It's over. I am not compromising on this at all. If you're still drinking and you're wondering why you're not losing weight, then I don't have any more advice for you. You have to stop drinking alcohol. Psychologically, alcohol is very damaging in that it saps our motivation. It saps the motivation. It makes us depressed. It makes us lethargic. It makes us anxious. It's a horrible, horrible, nasty, toxic, poisonous drug that kills people way before they die. Even if you're not, and I do believe you, so I obviously had an alcohol problem, so you might be thinking, well, Corinne, you had it pretty severely, but mine's not quite so severe, and mine is just a habit. I believe you. I'm not saying that you have an alcohol problem, but I do have this perspective, this unique perspective due to my experiences, that I understand just how damaging this substance can be in terms of your psychology, because it's a very powerful sort of relaxant. And so when we're a little bit stressed out and we're a little bit nervy and edgy, taking a few drinks just to sort of like take the edge off, this is reinforcing a very weak way of thinking, a very weak pattern of thinking, in that every time we feel a little bit uncomfortable and we feel like we're in a negative space, we have to have something in order to quell that. It's not true. If you're feeling negative and in that space, we either need to find a way to change the situation or accept how we're feeling and just deal with how we're feeling. It's not a case of just removing the discomfort. This is a huge problem in our culture and our society. Everyone's just trying to be happy all the time. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It's not. Stop me if I'm wrong, but that's not how life is. You can't be happy all the time. It doesn't work like that. We have natural ups and downs. And when we have those downs, we shouldn't be turning to food and booze in order to comfort ourselves, to make ourselves feel better. We should be rising to the challenge and rising in strength. And if there's issues in our lives, let's solve the issues. Let's deal with the problems. And if these are problems that we can't solve and can't be fixed, then we find a way to accept them or grow in strength so that it doesn't bother us so much. Alcohol, got to stop. It's got to stop if we are hitting this weight loss warrior program. You do those three things, the three things that I've set out here, and the weight will drop off you rapidly. Rapidly. I want to hear it, team. I want to hear it. I want to hear if you are committed to this, if you have decided that something needs to change, and you want to, even if you may have jumped onto this video thinking, well, I'm going to get onto a fitness kick and weight loss is going to be a part of it, I would urge you to just set the weight. Just set the weight. Everything else comes as a result. Look at my before and after pictures, okay? Obviously, I've gotten leaner, the muscles are more defined, I've gotten fitter, all of those things. I'm really happy with all of that. But that's all happened as a byproduct, as something that's happened alongside my ultimate target, which was to lose weight. Everything else happens as a result of you setting a weight loss target, not the other way around. If you set the target of, oh, I just want to get leaner, more defined, I just want to get toned, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Just trust me on this, personal and professional experience over 7 years, and I've seen it time and time again. Day after day after day, I see it. And the people who get it listen and say, right, okay, well, we'll set the weight target then. The weight drops off and then they become fitter, faster, leaner, more defined. They're fitting into their clothes better. That's crucial. That's crucial, is to understand which way round it works. If you set the goal of, I want my clothes to fit better, it's never going to happen. If you set the goal of, I want to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight, the clothes will fit better. It's as simple as that. Some of it you're just going to have to go on faith, and trust me, well, so be it. You're just going to have to then. I haven't spoken much about the training, about the physical exercise, and I've done that purposefully, actually, because people focus too much on that, and you really, if there's, I have to get across, you cannot out-train a bad diet. That's a very common sentiment in fitness, and it's 100% true. 100% true. You get so many people who smashing out the weights, and because they're smashing out the weights, they think they can just eat whatever they want. They look awful, awful, and are quite unhealthy. Even though they're hitting the gym quite often, they are covered in excess body fat. It doesn't need to be that much. You also get people who are like, it's this mentality and this feeling that, well, because I'm out running and because I'm doing all of this, because I'm doing this training, then I don't really have to watch what I eat. And they just keep putting on more and more weight. And then it's so frustrating for them, so frustrating for them. We've got to get it both locked in, got to get it nailed. And here's the beautiful thing about it. Once we're in that normal weight category, it's not going to be this tough forever. You don't have to count calories forever. It's not always going to be this disciplined and this absolutely locked in and nailed in. You'll still have healthy habits, but you'll be better empowered to be able to do this a bit more intuitively. But in this stage, in this beginning stage, we'll call it phase 1, it's got to be this locked in. It's got to be this absolutely brutally locked in. We've got to get brutal with it. It's not always going to be this hard. That's something you also have to get into the mentality of. There are phases in life. We have phases in life where we're up and down and all over the place. And in this phase, right, this is what we're doing in this phase. Your mind comes in and says, oh, I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want to always feel deprived. And what about, I want to be able to go to restaurants and have whatever I want. This isn't a lifestyle that I want. Well, it's not a lifestyle forever. This is just a phase of discipline, of focus, of taking this time to respect yourself, to build discipline, to build strength, to shed this poisonous, horrible fat, to empower yourself to take control of the food that you're consuming, to have the self-respect to say, no, I don't want to drink. It's an act of defiance. It's an act of saying, no, I'm rejecting this weak and degenerate culture around, oh, nothing matters. Nothing matters. I just want to enjoy my life. I just want to party, and that's all that matters. Let's start moving away from that and say, no, actually, I choose to stand for something. I choose to stand for something better. I have a higher idea of what I want for myself, actually. That my life, when I was a kid, I didn't think I was going to be obese. Actually, that's not kind of what I had envisioned for myself. So I'm gonna re-examine this. I'm gonna re-examine the life that I'm in, and actually, I've got a better idea for how I want to be. And I'm going to take some control, and I'm not just going to just eat everything that comes in front of my face. And I'm not just going to, just because somebody said, right, let's go to the bar, let's go to the pub, that you just went, oh, okay then, even though you don't want to be. You don't want to be. Start to learn to stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. And even the negativity that comes in. See, this is another tip. I mean, I will have to do another video on just some of the things around this, but you are going to have people say, oh, come on, you don't need to count your calories, and oh, don't be so boring. Why are you doing that? You don't need to lose weight. What I did is Slimming World, and what I did is this, and you don't need to do counting calories. You're going to hear all of this. All of it is horrible. Disregard. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't. And you stick with this program. You are a weight loss warrior. And when the results start showing, you let the results do the talking. I've had to go through all of this myself. People have said to me over the years that I don't know what I'm talking about, that my approach is wrong, that I'm fat shaming people, that I'm body shaming people, that people just need to learn to accept themselves, and that no, I shouldn't be counting calories is outdated, and the BMI chart is outdated, and yeah, blah, 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 blah. It's been going on for years, and these same people that have been telling me I've been doing it wrong, they just put on more and more weight, they just get bigger and bigger, they don't know what they're talking about. And this entire time I just get leaner, fitter, faster, yeah, and all my clients get leaner, fitter, faster, stronger, more healthy, recovering from all of their conditions. They don't have to take their medication anymore, dropping weight categories down to normal BMI, feeling energized, feeling great, feeling good, and I'm like, yep, let's rock and roll, and still I get people telling me, no, you're doing it wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. They really don't. Because they've never been in the situation. They've never been in the situation that I've been in. It's quite a unique perspective, I guess. Is that everything? I'm just going to take a moment just to think and just double check to clarify that I've covered everything. Anything that I haven't covered, obviously I can make another video in future, but this is what I wanted to go through today, and this is the only way to do it. And if you want to say no, I've got a better idea, then okay, you go do that, and we'll see if you want to come back here in a year or two. But if you want to do this, if you really want to do this, let me know. I'm right here. I'm not just some stranger on the other side of a screen. You want to drop me a line, whack it in the comments there, and I can address it. If you're keen to actually get fired up and to do this, I'm going to be with you. All right, I'm with you absolutely every step of the way. I'm making a conscious decision here that I'm going to be putting more energy and time into this YouTube channel, because that's what my intuition is saying to do. The intuition has come in and said, this is a good avenue to put some energy into, because it's a good thing to be able to inform people, to be able to motivate people, to be able to encourage people, to be able to inspire people. That's a good thing. There's not enough of this in our society and in our culture. And if I can pick up a few subscribers on the way, then that's it. That's about as much of my hidden agenda as possible. There's two things. Obviously, I'd like to grow the channel, so that's partly why I make videos. I also like to talk. I like it when people listen to me. So I have no shame in admitting that. I'm a human being, and people like it when people listen to them and get attention. It's not so evil, is it? That's it. That's my hidden agenda. I'm not like an evil patriarchal you must all fit in because I'm trying to subjugate you and try to make you fit in because I'm a fitness professional and I get money from some unseen, horrible force that makes me make people feel bad about their weight. Do I come across like that? Does that seem like what I'm trying to do? I'm just trying to help. I don't get any money for this. Anyway, I'm going to have a think if there's anything else that I need to cover. So, I realised that I never quite developed the point about training, and I went straight into saying you don't need to focus on training all that much, and it might have sounded like I'm saying don't train. No, it's not what I'm saying. Whatever you're interested in terms of your fitness, keep doing that, absolutely, but just switch the focus more to the diet. The training, as long as you're burning calories, which any exercise does, then you're in a good place. The main focus here is just the calorie balance. So actually it comes down more to how many calories you're burning when you're training. I would recommend doing a mixture of cardiovascular and weight training. That is what has proved scientifically to be the most effective and rapid way of losing weight and losing fat. Doing the weight training encourages your body to hold on to the muscle and burns calories whilst we're doing it. Cardio has a huge calorie expenditure, which obviously is going to be a help when we are trying to lose weight. So I would recommend, what I did is I put on some trainers and I started going for a run, and I decided to run every day. I didn't really know any better at the time. I just whacked on the old trainers and just started going for a run, and the rest is history. I decided to go every day. Looking back, I'd probably advise every other day, but hey, whatever, if you want to go every day, go every day. I look back at that time and I think, wow, my dedication was absolutely, for that first 6-month period, was flawless. I was going out like crazy, which is why I recommend you've got to get fanatical about this. Get obsessed. Get so fired up for this that nothing is going to stop you, because haven't you suffered enough? Haven't you suffered enough with this? Isn't it time to actually just do it? Isn't it time to actually just do it? There is no need to get bogged down in any thinking about it. The mind will come up with a million reasons why not to bother, because the mind just loves its little comfort zone. Just get it done. You have suffered enough with it now, and so be it. Let the people go, man. Deal with it. Deal with when you're intimidated to go to the gym. Just deal with it. Just go anyway. Deal with it when you've been training hard and then you get injured and it's hard on your mentality. Deal with it. Deal with it. Don't run away from it. Deal with it. When you step on the scales and you don't get the result you want, watch your mentality when this happens. You step on the scales, it's not where you wanted it to be. Your mind goes, no, it's because the scales are wrong, it's because I'm carrying excess water, it's because muscle weight's more. Instead, you go, right, that's not where I want it to be, so I need to make changes in order to get it to where I want it to be. Once we're in that mentality, nothing in this world can stop you. I really mean that. The world loses its threat because we're rising in strength. Every time there's a challenge, we rise up to meet it. So whatever training that you're doing, just carry on and enjoy it. If you're doing no training at all, just start, even if it's just walking to start with. But I'd recommend getting into running. You don't even have to go to a gym. You can just run outside and get yourself a weight set. Just start lifting some weights. Just start doing this training. But the most important thing is counting the calories, which I think I've probably hammered home to death. You can do it. You can. There is no reason on God's green earth why you can't. You have the same body as everybody else. You have the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else. What you do with those hours and with your life and with your body is completely up to you. And don't get it twisted. Don't let them get into your head and tell you that, oh, you just need to accept yourself. It doesn't work. I've seen it so many times and it makes people utterly miserable. You are not fooling me. You will not fool me at all. I know you're not happy. I know that when you look in the mirror, you'd rather be leaner, lighter. Oh, but I've got this going on. That's not acceptable. Not anymore. Not anymore. There is an element of not feeling so depressed about the way you look. I can understand that. I can understand that. And I understand that some people maybe struggle more with that than I do. For some reason, I don't know. It's, yeah, well, especially when I was bigger, I hated the way I look. Weirdly, I probably hate the way I look more now than when I was obese. How strange is that? I've never, it's a sort of, probably because I think about it more now, and I'm more on display now, and because I'm in the fitness industry and on social media and stuff, I probably am more critical of myself now than when I was obese and just trying not to think about it. But it's an act of increasing your self-esteem. I say that, I make it sound like I'm not happy with how I look. No, I'm very happy, and you know, I feel so much better. It's just I'm more conscious of it now, and I'm just the sort of person, for some reason, it doesn't bother me really. It's not as much. I know other people it does. It really affects them psychologically, thinking about the way they look. But for me, honestly, it just whatever, right? Whatever. I just don't care. I've got like stretch marks and maybe a bit of loose skin. It's probably never gonna go. So be it. So be it. I have areas of fat on my body that I don't know. I'm gonna try my best to get rid of. Might never actually get there. So be it. So be it. But I understand that other people it may be harder because of their experiences or because of their natural temperament, just due to their individual, just themselves. They might feel a bit more self-conscious. So I'm not saying that, oh, that's wrong, or you shouldn't. It's more, I'm not here to try and shame anyone. It's more what I would like to do is introduce a different approach to when you feel shame, when you feel low self-esteem. Because delusion will not help you. It kills people. It kills people every day. It kills them before they die. Delusion won't help. Instead, if we're feeling self-conscious, low self-esteem, wouldn't it be better to work on those areas? If there are things that we're not happy about ourselves with, we can work on it. And maybe we'll never quite get there. Maybe we'll never quite iron it out. But in working on it, you develop the self-esteem, the confidence and the self-belief. That's all I'm going to say on that subject. I think there's probably more to it later on. Let's go, Warriors. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let me know in the comments if you are dedicated and serious about joining me on this. I will get you there. Oh, believe me. Let's get fired up. Let's get aggressive with it. Let's attack this. Let's make it happen. Imagine how much change we could make within a few short months by making some decisions, by moving forwards. Let's get fired up. That is everything I have for you today. Have a good day, Warriors. UK muscle. Have a good day. If you enjoyed that video, if you feel like you got something on it, why not consider smashing that subscribe and like button? Hate doing that. You can also find me on Instagram, Corin_Bryant_. You can also find me on Facebook, Corin Bryant, meditation coach and personal trainer. Go check it out.